Liberal Viewer presents.
So I went and saw Waiting for Superman, this great new documentary about problems in American public schools, so I know the film blames those problems on a variety of sources, including centralized bureaucracies, an antiquated tracking system, and yes, some inflexibilities created by teachers' unions, but when the director of the movie appeared on Fox and Friends last week, you'd never know from the way Fox News promoted the interview that the movie addressed more than just one problem with public schools, as you can see in this clip.
It's the movie behind a movement. Waiting for Superman bashes teachers' unions for bankrupting our nation's schools. Meet the man who made the film. Coming up live next here in New York City.
Now that's not an accurate description of the documentary I saw, but you don't have to take my word for it, because when Fox and Friends anchor Gretchen Carlson came back after the commercial and tried to get the film's director to bash the teachers' unions, Davis Guggenheim directly contradicted Fox News' characterization of his movie, as you can see here.
Well, I think unions are one piece. I'm tough on all the adults, and I don't agree with the word bashing unions. I'm a member of a great union. I actually believe in unions. The point is that the system kind of works for the adults. You know, it works for me because I can afford private school. It works for the political parties. The Democrats take a lot of money on the federal level. The Republicans take a lot of money on the state level to do very little. The centralized bureaucracies, the unions are a piece. The point is I'm putting pressure on all the adults.
And that's fair to put pressure on all the adults, but Fox News anchor Gretchen Carlson just couldn't accept it, repeatedly trying to blame teachers' unions and even going so far as to accuse Davis Guggenheim of being a liberal, as you can see here.
You're a liberal?
Yes, I am.
Okay. I found it interesting.
I'm an open-minded liberal.
That an open-minded liberal would attack the unions because that is such a bastion of support for liberal Democrats. Have you received hate mail from unions?
No, and I think bashing and attacking are two strong words. I think when people use language like that, I think it inflames the thing. And I think what the idea of the movie is it's getting people to come together at the table. So I've had Randy Weingarten, the head of the AFT, Michelle Rhee, superintendent of D.C. schools, come together around the movie.
But of course, bringing people together to help kids may be what the movie is about, but it's certainly not what Fox News is about, because despite getting those corrections from the director of the movie himself in that interview last week, when the subject of Waiting for Superman came up again on Fox and Friends this week, here's the fair and balanced description we got from those purporting to give us our news.
We want to bring these people the news. And here are your headlines, as a matter of fact. It's October 11th, by the way, Monday, in case you didn't know. President Obama is heading back on the road this week. He's trying to win over Democratic voters ahead of the midterm elections. Today in Washington, he's going to be pushing for more money for our roads and our rails. Then he's going to be flying down to Miami to meet with students from Waiting for Superman. That's that documentary that blames teachers' unions for America's failing education system.
Now for Fox and Friends to give that description of Waiting for Superman as part of their supposed news headlines, even after being corrected by the director of the movie himself 3 days before, shows a clear partisan agenda, making this video the 137th entry on my Fox News bias playlist, I think, but I want to know what you think. Do the descriptions of the movie Waiting for Superman from Fox and Friends I showed in this video qualify as dishonest spin? And on the bigger question, especially for those who saw the movie, what are the real problems with America's public schools and what are the real solutions?
YouTube, you decide.